All right, guys, Fuad here back with another interview. Boxing's back as we know it. We've got a hefty schedule to look forward to. Today, I'm joined by two of the main event of the first week back. We love a good fight, we love a good scrap, and we love a good egg and cheese. This is perfect. I don't know if you caught onto the corny catch line, but this fight, it goes to show that, you know, you guys aren't ducking and diving from anyone. You want the best fights. I'm going to start off asking both of you questions. We'll start with you, Ted. First and foremost, how's lockdown treated you? What have you been up to training-wise, and how are you keeping?
To be honest, it's been the easiest time really for me because I've had a lot of time to spend with my little baby, like young baby boy, my young family, and obviously there's no distractions with training at all. So other than that, all I've been able to do is train. So it's been the easiest time to train.
And what about you, Sam?
Same really, pal. I haven't really had much to do. I've got 3 kids and training, so I don't do nothing else. You know, that is it.
Yeah.
If I'm not training, I'm with the kids. If I'm not with the kids, I'm training. So it's been good. It's been good.
Before we talk about the actual fight, Ted, I'll start with you. It's been a hefty year for you. You know, you were a British champion. You went up against Sergio Garcia, his name? Yeah, for the European title. Obviously, unfortunately, you didn't win that. And then 2 very tough fights and very close fights, actually, against Kieran Conway and Scott Fitzgerald, which you feel like you were unfortunate not to win those fights. But how have you sort of kept your vision straight and your mindset straight, even though, you know, it's been such a tough year?
We're fighters. We've got a fighter's mentality, so you just got to keep pushing on. And obviously, you have a goal, and while you still got a chance of achieving that goal, you got to keep pushing and not mentally break. And that's what I've done. Just kept strong mentally, and kept pushing on, kept learning, and picking up all the ringmanship while I'm in these fights. All I've got to do is use the experience, and that's how you get better.
You were visibly upset after both of those last 2 fights. You know, you felt like you could have got the victory. Is that added fuel to your fire now to fight Sam and get that statement victory here in the UK?
Yeah, 100%. Because but obviously before the lockdown, I was doing an 8-rounder, and obviously it was sort of like, it's hard, obviously, when you've been in these big fights to then start training for a 8-rounder. It's a lot harder to motivate yourself than it is to have a big fight. And I was at the point where I was thinking, like, oh, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, and I was like getting a bit sick of the sport, and I felt like nothing was going my way. But then obviously that's part of being a fighter and being mentally strong. You got to push past that point. And obviously once lockdown come and all these big fights start to get mentioned to me, the excitement come back, and the hunger was there, and I was just fully determined to take one of these big fights, catapult myself back to the position I want to get to.
Unlike you, Sam's he's got a bit more of the momentum. He's picked up good victories, went over to Italy and picked up a victory as well as an away fighter. Why pick Sam? Like, why take Sam? As like I said, he is on the go now, on the road, victory after victory.
Obviously, I ain't gonna mention fighters' names, but I was fighting someone else. Obviously, already planned to fight. Like, I had a fight sort of scheduled for the fight card, and then obviously Tony rang me and said, "Oh, Eddie's rung," and said Sam said he'll fight me and 2 or 3 other fighters' names. So, like, I said to Tony, look, forget the fight I got, make that fight. You know what I mean? Because obviously the fight I had was okay, it was a decent fight, but it weren't the stature of me and Sam Eggington. And I think me and Sam's been a fight that's been building to happen. It was always going to happen sooner or later because we're both 2 big names in the light middleweight division. We're both come to fight, and it's a fight the fans want to see. So I was pushing really hard because it was a fight that really excited me. So I wanted that fight, and it got made. Because obviously Eddie sort of was like, oh, well, maybe it can be made at another stage and certain things like that. And like I said to Tony, like, look, we got to try and push for that. And I think when Eddie sort of put the feelers out there to the fans, everyone sort of took such a liking to the fight. It was like the main fight. Everyone was saying, oh, look, we want to see that fight in lockdown. So then obviously it sort of forced Eddie to make the fight happen.
Sam, like I mentioned before, loving the beard. It's a new feature we're seeing on you. Just going off what Ted said there, what was your sort of approach and reaction when the fight was put late to you and said, "Do you want to fight Ted Cheeseman behind closed doors in Eddie Hearn's garden?"
So what happened though, like, I put a tweet out saying, look, when boxing starts, when boxing's ready to go, I'm sort of ready to go. And within 10 minutes, John had been on the phone and said, look, Eddie's been on. He's going to send a few names over for this fight camp. So he sent a few names over. And Ted's was, the one we thought was, it was worth fighting. He's won a British title. He lost it controversially, some may say, but I didn't watch the fight, for honest. So, he won a British title. He's at that level. So the other names on there, they were decent names, don't get me wrong, but no one that's done what Ted's done at this point. So, Ted was the only one really that I thought, is worth getting a win over. So that's why we picked Ted. It just made sense.
Momentum is key, like I mentioned. You've obviously had the ups and downs in your career. After after the Liam Smith defeat, you've gone on a roll. Like I said, went over to Italy and got your victory over there as well. Do you feel like this is the best time to catch Ted, as he's not had like the easiest fights? Whether he's won them or not, he's not had the easiest fights in terms they were grueling fights.
I mean, I can't say it's the best time to catch Ted because I've been in Ted's position, and like you just said, the Italian picked me. They rang me, and I went over and beat him. So, and I went on a good run then. So I'm not going to say it's the best time to pick Ted because people have picked me when I've been in Ted's situation, and it ain't gone their way. So I'm going to treat Ted like he's still on his form what he was on when he won the British title, and that's what we're going to do. So I don't really look at Ted's wins or losses, or when they was. I just look at the best Ted and train for that. And that's what I'll get. That's what I'll get me the win.
This division's already packed. Like I said, the sort of triangle that was being discussed last year was Ted, Fitzgerald, and Fowler. It was like whoever wins, whatever. Out of them three, though, do you rank Ted the highest out of them and probably the hardest fight?
I don't think you can at this point. I mean, Fitzgerald has beat Ted and Fowler, so I think it was stupid to say, anyone's at the top but Fitzgerald. He's got to be put at the top. Out of Fowler and Ted, it's a hard one to pick. I know there was having a lot of to and fro before, and it was nearly happening and that. So maybe after me and Ted have had our business done, maybe that'll happen. But at the moment, you got to put Fitz at the top, and you can put Ted and Anthony. It depends on what you like, I suppose, and put them where you think they're at.
Ted, Sam's obviously made a name for himself within the British boxing community, being involved in fights that a lot of people have caught their eye to. What do you see in his style that you can take from and think, all right, that I can exploit?
I just think it's a good fight for me. Obviously, Sam comes to fight, I ain't got to go and look for him. And obviously, he knows I come to fight, he ain't got to look for me. So we're both obviously going to meet in the middle, and it's going to be a really good fight and a really exciting fight. And obviously, I'm just looking forward to it because obviously Sam will know, like, he'll see when I would say like English champion or just before I was British, I was sort of calling for the fight. At the time, as I would say, when someone was at that level when I'm at here now, we say, to be honest, it's all about risk and reward. And at the time, obviously, Sam didn't want to fight because obviously there was risk, but there weren't really a reward. Do you get what I mean? So, but now the time's right for both of us. You know what I mean? This fight's right for both of us. And obviously, may the best man win. But obviously, I'm the most determined I've been, and I just feel I got that little bit extra than Sam. But obviously, he's going to feel the same about me. But we're fighters, and you're not going to get two more determined fighters and two more game fighters than us. And that's why it's going to be a really exciting fight.
Well, if you both can agree that you're going to meet in the middle of the ring, I mean, it'll be a great comeback season. Like, we've been waiting for boxing for so long. I'm sure a lot of fans they're appreciating it anyway. If we can get an agreement, meet in the middle of the ring, it'll definitely go off in Eddie's garden. Ted, I just want to talk to you about something else as well. I was reading earlier an article about how you opened up about your problems outside of the ring. First of all, how are you keeping from everything that's gone off, and how has that sort of affected you since the year has been anyway for you?
Obviously, that's what when I obviously fought Garcia, that was my bad point. You know what I mean? After that, I was obviously coming through dealing with all the rubbish, and obviously now I'm over a year. I'm a year and a few months like clear. I ain't done nothing. I've sorted my head right. I'm in the best possible like mind space I've been in probably my whole pro career right now. You know what I mean? I've got my own little building company. Like I don't work by direct. I'm earning money through that. I'm being able to train fully, no other distractions, just fully on the ball. I'm not always chasing money like I was when I was a pro, when I was young. Cause obviously, the passion for boxing changes when you come from nothing. Then you have quite a lot of money, and then it goes from loving boxing to just wanting to be rich.
Yeah.
But then for me, nah, the thing has changes totally. Don't really care at all about the money with boxing. All I care about is the passion and the love of the sport again, and getting as far as I can go. You know what I mean? That's my main thing, because obviously since I was 12 years old, I boxed. So now my goal is, listen, there's plenty of ways to earn money other than boxing. So my main ambition about out of boxing is to go as far as I possibly can. And all the years I put into the sport, get as much out of it as I can, reward-wise, as in go as far and high in levels as I can, and succeed, have as much success as I can.
But both of you can sell tickets as well. We know that both of you have a good following, a good strong fan base. Starting with you, Sam, is there sort of any thought of fighting when there's not going to be any fans? You can hear both coaches clearly shouting at each other. We're going to hear the shots land like we've never heard them before. Because if this fight was, made in any other arena, the atmosphere would have been great. So first, Sam, what's your thoughts of fighting behind closed doors? And are you having to approach this in any other way?
I think it'll be odd. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the ring walk. I presume they're still going to put the music and some bits of smoke and that as you're walking out from the ring. It'll be odd.
I'm hearing fireworks. That's what I'm doing.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be odd. There's going to be no one there. But I think as soon as you get in the ring, I think a lot of boxers tell you, it's a cliche, but you get tunnel vision. You don't really hear much out the ring anyway. So I don't think me personally, I don't think it'll matter whether there's a crowd or not. But, it might affect other people different ways. But for me, I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think it'll matter much.
Ted, what about you?
Like, it's true. It's business. Once you get in the ring, it's business. It's like if you're sparring. If you turn up at the gym for sparring, you might make mistakes. You're learning. You're practicing things. But if all of a sudden you turn up to the gym on the Wednesday, you got sparring, they said, all right, now look, there's just 3 judges here. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. The whole ball game will change. You know what I mean? So I think it don't really matter who's there. It's about the W. If there's a result at the end, the plan changes. You know what I mean? You're going for the win, so you're in a different mindset. You know what I mean? It don't really matter who's there. And like Sam says, you block out most of the fans and everything is blocked out anyway if you're fully concentrated and on it.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, I know Sam's got to get to training. Ted, I appreciate your time as well. Just a final message to you, Ted. Do you have anything you want to say to Sam while he's here on the call?
May the best man win. Listen, the fight sells itself. We don't need. That's going to be an exciting fight. We're both good fighters, and we're going to see who's a better man on the night.
Sam, anything else?
Is expecting something crazy then, weren't you? I was to slag him off and that.
Nah, look, I like the respect. I can sense the respect. That's why, there's no point. I know this fight's going to be good. He'll have a good camp and so will I. And, on the night, it'll be all guns blazing. But like you said, best man win. And it'll be on to the next one. Awesome, man. I can't wait. 1st of August, main event, Eddie's Garden, live on Sky. Ted Cheeseman against Sam Eggington. Guys, thank you for your time, and I'll catch you guys probably during fight week or something.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right.
Cheers, lads.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time we upload a new video. And we also have a free app available on iTunes and Google Play, so make sure you go and download that. Bye Fight fans.